Well, welcome to Without a Handle.
Shit, yeah.
First,
Hi.
we're excited about this topic. Sorry, guys.
I don't know what it is.
I know, but now I'm excited. I'm so excited. So go ahead.
Aren't you glad I'm not scared?
Yeah.
Because it made me scared, right?
Yeah, I was nervous. Yeah.
So my question is for Carly is because you teach that, the paganism one-on-one, but I've not sat with you on,
No, you haven't.
right?
Okay.
And I don't claim any one path, right? Like I have lots of different paths.
Yeah.
Right. However, over the last several years, you probably noticed this. And maybe you don't realize it yet, but you have started to realize it. You just not like put everything together.
Okay.
Is that there's definitely more of a shamanic practice.
Oh, what is
so? I'm not claiming shamanism, right, or that I am a shaman, because I don't believe that we claim those titles for ourselves.
Yeah,
I believe that, and there's different ceremonial practices with being a shaman. Like there's initiations and that kind of thing, right? But having a shamanic practice with the herbs and all the things,
the rituals,
and how I really resonate with like drumming and that kind of thing, the rattles and stuff. But I'm curious, what is your pullout when you teach that little bit about shamanism? What do you teach?
So that is an interesting question because I actually haven't taught that.
Okay.
So that service, that class, discussion, however you want to classify it, is really rooted in the specific thing that the individual booking with me wants to get into.
So they get to pick first.
They get to pick first. So usually if a client comes to me and they're like, hey, I really resonate with whatever is going on in the shop. I was like, okay, so spirituality, period.
Yeah.
Because basically, right?
Yeah.
So usually in those types of conversations, I say, well, let's get you a foundation of what spirituality is. And let's get you an introduction to what paganism is and see if that resonates with you. From there, if they want to continue, they will tell me, I'm interested in this path, or I'm interested in this, or, whatever. I curate that curriculum around their specific niche.
Yeah.
If somebody is already, established in spirituality or in paganism or however they identify, that is where we start. They tell me where they're at and we just continue, right? So yes, I have never had somebody come to me about the shamanism stuff. So I would like to. That would be fun.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
I feel like it would definitely help others understand why I do some of the things I do. Does that make sense? And how I practice, some of the things I do.
That would be a good info video for us to do. Maybe we sit down and just discuss.
And then a lot of it is, just intuition, right? But I've got super excited.
Because we were chatting about, and you were wanting to ask about awarenesses in what?
Well, do you want that to continue on this podcast? Okay, so we'll have to do like a split title or something. So I use the word synchronicity a lot. Yeah. Right. We often say things like, you can't make that shit up.
Yeah.
And I feel like those do fit a lot of situations. And it also allows me an easy out for, I don't like the word spotlight, so maybe you can find something else to put in there.
Okay.
But wow, I just lost all the things.
That's okay.
One of my friends has been using the verbiage around validations, right? And so, and I'm still
had an issue with that.
I'm still on the fence about that, right? Because that's not why I do the things I do. That's not, and not that I have an issue with her. I really I appreciate this lady more than she will probably know for a long time.
Yes.
Unless she's listening to the podcast. But last week alone,
That was like a common theme in your
Yes,
conversation
it
with her, like
was.
almost every day.
Yes, every time I shared something, well, here's your validation. And so it offered the shift in my thinking, and even before that, because I'd seen her before that too. So anyway, previously I saw that as stroking an ego.
Yes, I was just about to say, like, you had
Right.
a hard time with that
Yes.
for a minute because when we here's your validation,
Yes.
validation just in any type of
Mhm.
context, it is a very ego-based,
Yeah.
right? Take the
So
human and ego out of it,
yeah, and it's just awareness
clarification.
on this shit's real. Like you
Yeah.
can't make this shit up.
Yeah.
Like those kinds of things, and the awareness. And I even used to say to some clients, like, remember, I am human. I could be wrong
Mhm.
because I was second guessing myself so much.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and because of that second guessing, you have really put brakes on your development with a lot of things that you're interested
A
in.
couple of the practices, yeah, I have.
And that goes back to the shamanism stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll dig deeper on that, but there's a fine line there between ego, lack of ego, and even confidence versus maybe lack of confidence, right? Like maybe those validations set wonky with me because I didn't have the confidence to accept them.
Yeah.
So,
And that's interesting that you hit that theme. Just in the right amount of time after I started, because when I had that journey, like 2 Sundays ago now, where I'm just gonna say the fact,
yeah.
whatever. I had in my what I'm calling a medicinal dosage of
Plant allies.
there you go.
Yes.
Plant
So
allies, let's say that.
there's doses that can be descriptive from micro to hero. We're probably somewhere in between a micro and a macro dose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Definitely not a hero's journey yet.
Gosh, no, no, but just enough to get to let that ego go to where I could really step into a spiritual journey and experience that I wanted to that day. And having the validation came out of that and the days to come after,
Yeah.
I think is on the same theme as what you experienced with this friend over the week.
And it's been there,
Yeah.
right? But embracing it was a whole different thing, right? Like getting past,
Let it go.
but yeah, letting go of the fear of
If you listen to the last episode,
no one wants to be viewed as an egotistical bitch, right?
no.
Like she just thinks she knows it all. Like that is not my intention.
Yeah.
My intention is not to ever come across that way, right? I mean, most of the time I don't even feel that way. Here I am about self-confidence, but that we have practiced and that we have studied, and they're
trusting that our souls know what we are doing. You know what I mean? Like, oops,
oh, there you go.
I feel like when the human side of us lets that ego stand up at our front, we are really hindering what our soul's journey is meant to be and meant to relate to the rest of the people around us. So having that validation from outsiders, tell us like, hey, you are on the right track.
Yeah.
Stop not believing in yourself.
So there had been times previously where plant allies were kind of used to like let down some walls and some shit had happened, and lots of awareness when you take out those human the surface. I was gonna say human emotions, but they're still human emotions, but there's some that are just surface level.
Yeah.
Right. More of like a thought or a concept or that kind of thing.
And I think a lot of the ones that are hard to let go are taught. Are the taught.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So being able to use, the plant allies to let go of that so you can work through that and truly have no connection to it anymore. Yeah.
And so like, okay, this is gonna sound weird, maybe hopefully don't get too squishy. So we share a lot of time together. We're pretty close. Our husbands probably get annoyed that we text too much. And
100%.
it's sometimes about work, but sometimes our journey is at work. So it's really tricky to like shut that off.
Yeah.
But like I knew that you knew. Like I knew that you could do these readings, right? Like I knew that about
Oh,
you,
this is
right?
where we're going. Yes.
Yes. But um but sometimes we need that aha moment from somewhere, yeah, just outside of our circle, right?
Yeah.
So, like a mom, like we're always gonna love our kid.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes they need someone else to love them too. So when it comes to validation, like I'm always gonna be like, yeah, Carly, you got this, you're good.
Yeah.
But because we do share that friendship, that relationship, sometimes you need more than just me or just Daniel, just whatever.
A good example of that is when you had told me to shit or get off the pot with my rune readings. Up until like, what was it, last week? Honestly, I still was like my little baby legs, like shaking, like every time.
And I still am. You know, I still am, right?
But that outside validation came when I interviewed to be a approved reader for a Facebook group, and all three of them, and I did a reading for each one of the admins. So there was three ladies, and each one of them, in all of it, like their responses, we were very impressed with you. Like this was great. This is you deliver in a different way than we've seen before. Like blah 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 blah. So like out that same things that you have said to me this whole time. Yeah. Just that outside validation helped, and it wasn't an ego stroke. It was a validation of yes, what I'm doing is legit. Like that imposter syndrome can fuck off, you know? And same thing with you.
Yeah.
Like the parenthood.
Like we need a silhouette, name it imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Right?
Anyway.
Yeah.
Finger.
A little visual there.
Yeah.
So how does that feel differently after that week?
I no longer have anxiety putting myself out there. Yeah. Like truly knowing that when I open my book for availability and knowing that the people that truly need a message um will ask.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to worry about booking with me, and I just know the greater good that if I don't have a booking, there is no message to give to people. Yeah. And if I do have a booking, well, wonderful. I'm so glad that I was able to be that messenger for somebody. And sometimes I just feel like, you know, hey, I'll open my books for, you know, maybe a one cool free reading, and because sometimes that stuff shouldn't be monetized,
right?
You know,
yeah.
and but there does have to be an energy exchange, and when I feel like I am okay opening up a book for free or booking for free for somebody, the energy exchange there that I tell myself is the greater good.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting anything from that person other than the greater good told me they need.
Yeah.
Period.
So trusting the process too. So you've been studying rooms for a hot minute, but you've not been reading for others for
right? No, I just so
in that concept, how many times have you sat down to do something and it was just different? Like you were guided to do something slightly outside of your ritual.
Honestly, yesterday.
Okay. How did that feel?
So a little context for this. It was in this group that I'm a part of on Facebook, and it is for free readings, donation readings, or paid readings. And the members of that group can request a one free reading a month, and the admin will assign a approved reader to them. And one came through, and I was assigned to it. And usually, I am very ritual based with my readings for people. So I always go to my altar. I always, you know, do my whole thing, you know. And I was sitting in the living room with my son, and my husband was doing his own thing. And something just told me that I didn't need that with this one. I just needed to go get my room. And I just
because that's what we do teach. I mean, that's the whole podcast without a candle.
Yeah,
without the tools.
And so I was just led by spirit to do practice what we
Yeah.
preach. And it was probably one of the more detailed readings. And I didn't record this one. And usually with my virtual readings, I will record and upload it as an unlisted video to YouTube for them to go back to and watch whenever.
I had to figure that shit out.
So easy.
Yeah.
It's just a setting thing. I'll show you. But yeah, I didn't feel the need to have to do the whole get up, and I didn't feel the need to have to record it. I just let my words flow as I would in a video and typed it out beautifully. And it was a very like detailed reading.
So do you think in the moment that may have even been a little bit of the automated writing?
Maybe. Maybe. I've never really put too much thought in doing something like that, so I could see. I could see how that.
So last week, going into my service day here, yeah. So planned was Reiki. Saturday. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So 2 days ago. Anyway, the plan was egg cleanses and Reiki, right? And I hadn't really put too much. Actually, that's a lie. I put a lot of thought in the process, like how.
Yeah.
Egg cleanse first, Reiki first, whatever.
Yeah.
But I hadn't figured anything out yet until I got here.
Yeah.
And there were several of them that after the egg cleanse, I'm like, oh, this isn't Reiki at all. This is like a conversation in spirit, you know? One lady I was doing the cleanse and I got over her throat. I'm like, ooh, you know, if you haven't said that yet, do not say that. Like that does not need to come out. So I suggest that we don't do Reiki. That we have a conversation. That conversation that she was not to put out in the universe, you know, physically. And then, so that was different from me.
Okay.
Right. Someone came in for an egg cleanse and then Reiki as well, but it turned out that today was just an egg cleanse, you know? So being okay with being spirit guided to change things, right?
I love that you because I really feel like this shift with us has added a shift to how we offer our services.
Yeah.
And I am very in tune with now just doing what spirit leads versus this is what we have to do because it's like.
But how do we advertise that? Because that is
no idea.
So that is my soul string services.
Yeah.
We don't pick one, right? You get here and spirit picks it for us.
Well, and that's kind of how my basics, class or like discussion services too. Because there'll be times in there where, you know, I'll sit there and talk to them about shadow work, or I'll talk to, you know, like, okay, where do you want to go from here now that we've had this discussion? And it just goes down this huge rabbit hole.
So do you feel like sometimes, like, how do I want to word that? Do you feel like sometimes people are cutting themselves short because they are choosing or they're dead set on choosing something? So, for example, if we had someone come in and they were wanting a reading, and that reading today was tarot, right? And they're like, "Oh, I don't mess with tarot." Do you think they were pulled here? They did come in, but then because of the thing, they're like, "Oh no." Or
yes, I do think that people do cut themselves short, but not intentionally. I think it is, you know what you know, you don't know what you don't know.
Fear.
The fear. They need to let go of that fear and just know that, yes, you booked us for a Reiki session, but Spirit's leading us to this because like your greater good, your higher self knows you did something else.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, maybe that needs to be like an infomercial or something.
Maybe. That's tricky, right?
Repeat. Because how do we tell people that, like, yeah, you can book all of these wonderful things that we offer, but when you walk through the door, let your ego go. Let it just do what needs to be done.
And there have been conversations, I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast or not, but definitely between you and I, people coming into the shop and that kind of stuff, is that sometimes our readers, even us included, we don't really need our tools, right? We don't really need our tools. So the tools are there because the audience needs us to have tools. Does that make sense? And so that's also part of the podcast. It's like doing things without your tools, doing things without your candles, doing things without your sage. And, that's been a conversation for a long time because even in teaching Reiki, like I can show you how I set up my space. I can show you how I open and close a ceremony. Um, but it's also important that if someone calls you right now and be like, hey, I need this in Reiki, that you don't have to have any of that. Like it starts with intention, it starts with love, um, and lack of fear, and whatever's supposed to happen will happen.
And I do want to preface to say that even though we do practice without tools a lot of the time, we do practice with
Oh, absolutely.
like
if I can pick tools or no tools, like I'm picking my tools. Like I just like a pretty altar. I like a pretty candle.
I do too.
And I love my dragon blood spray that you just sprayed.
I did spray it for you.
Smell it. Anyway,
but yeah, it again, it goes back to what spirit leads you to do. So if you sit and do the same ritual every single time before you do this Reiki or before you do a room reading or before you do tarot, it's almost gonna become robotic, I feel like. And if you just kind of let loose and just do whatever feels right when you're sitting down to do it, perfect. And never fear that you're doing it wrong. You don't have There's that.
So in your practice so far, and I don't want to create fear resistance, it's just a question. Have you had someone chime in for a reading that their human self wanted a reading, but their spirit wasn't ready for a message?
Honestly, the opposite. Their spirit had a lot to say. Their guides had a lot to say. Their human self couldn't comprehend it. Okay. I will say that. They heard it.
Yeah.
But they left so confused, and I don't think this individual still to this day really understands.
Yeah.
And my human self has been drove nuts. Drove absolutely
like
bonkers.
You just want to shake them. Like
yes, because I'm like.
So did you record that again? Did you record
that?
Oh
yeah, it's a recorded one.
So if that's one recorded, then maybe you sit with it.
Maybe.
And then maybe in time you ask that you send that again.
Okay. Kind of different years.
Well, because I shared something with you recently, right? And you're like, I could hear the host, but I couldn't hear the guest. It was like,
yeah, it was like the peanuts talking.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't. It was so weird.
Yeah.
I was not ready to hear what that guest had to say, but it was like.
So you can hear like the prompts, you can hear the questions from the host.
Yeah.
But the guest almost didn't exist. It was like static.
Yeah, it was like very muted. Like it was like I kept having to turn the volume up, and it still wasn't like enough. It was crazy. And then the guest or the host would come on and it would be like blaring through the shop. I'm like,
Jesus.
It was not that loud 2 minutes ago. Like, it was crazy. But yes, the client and I feel like, and I don't know why, because everything that's lining up in this individual's life resonates with that. But for some reason, it's just not clicking. And I have to, like, my human self has to realize, like, it's not my place to understand why.
It's not your business.
It's not my business to shake them and tell them, like, hey.
I'm glad you're not getting lost in that, because it's very easy to want more for someone than they want for themselves.
Oh, yeah. And I will say that this reading happened before I had that validation, too, from those 3 admin. So for a brief mini spiral, I will say it did send me into the imposter syndrome of, oh, well, not this. Like, my whole reading was just stupid. Right. Flop. Like, it didn't resonate, you know what I mean? So it was, but I'm fine now. Like, and I know after talking with this person in different conversation in different, environments and things like that, that like my reading did make sense to them. They just haven't figured that out yet. So, what about you?
Yeah. So there was a request for distance, and I had to go back and tell the person, like, it's just not happening. They're not ready to receive. I did share a little bit of reading, so the service didn't happen, but a reading of sorts still happened.
Okay.
So to share that, hey, that this service isn't going to happen, but this is what I got. And they're like, okay, yeah, that works. That's right on.
Okay.
So
their human self really understood that their spirit self, that their higher self wasn't ready.
Ish. Yes. So, I don't want to share too much detail because of privacy, right? So they were essentially getting two different services. They signed up for the Reiki, but they ended up with a mini reading.
Okay.
About situations in their life, right? Does that make sense? So the soul isn't ready for that healing.
Okay.
That's what I got out of that. They're okay with the awareness and they're okay with validation, but they were not ready to get the healing.
Yeah. I think that says a lot about their human self too, because a lot of people, when they hear that, I feel like a lot of people would spiral into lolita. Why can't I feel like
And I've had this happen. Oh, you can't read me.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So it's a blame game. Right.
Yeah, not taking accountability for
And then, you know what? I just heard maybe that's not wrong. Maybe my spirit is choosing not to offer them guidance. Okay. So maybe it's not wrong.
Yeah. I'll sit with that for a while.
Okay.
I'm interested in.
Yeah. Hold it for a minute, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, there was the one lady that came in here from out of town, and she had came in for a reading, and there wasn't anybody visiting reading, but I was here, and she's like, "Oh, so you're not gonna, you can't?" And I said, "No, like it's really not my day today. Like I don't really want to do that. I don't have the energy for that." And then within seconds, the downloads had started.
Oh, God.
So I was told like, actually, we are going to offer her what she needs today. You know, my human self was like, I'm tired, I'm hungry. And the spirit self was like, here she goes. So I remember stopping after like a couple sentences. I'm like, I guess I am doing this today. And I finished. She was very satisfied with our conversation and got what she needed.
Good. I've had that with a Reiki session.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we first moved here? It was like maybe 6 months into being here. That lady that had come in for a Reiki session, and you were like, "I'm just not it today. Do you want it?" And I was like, And then I was getting yelled at.
Yeah.
Like yelled at.
Your spirit guides are telling you.
Yeah, she's like, "No, you need to." And then during the whole Reiki session, her guides were yelling at me to say things to her during the session, which usually I do not speak during session. We have the conversation afterwards.
I do remember that. I don't remember the person.
Yeah, she has not been back since.
Yeah.
But she said she had like this profound, like...
But sometimes that's all I need.
Right. Yeah. And there was a lot around grief with her. And maybe she got the closure she needed. I'm not sure. She didn't share much because most of it was me having to stop in session and be like, what does diamonds mean to you? Not like the stone diamond, but the shape diamond.
Right.
And she just kind of sat up a little bit. She's like, that was not like rattling all of this stuff off.
So for that, in that moment, she needed just validation that this practice was real. That's what I'm getting. Okay. And that she could heal from this. We have the turnaround from profound events or profound initial healing. And I'll explain my theory on this in a second. It ends up being about a year to 14 months. Yeah. Like we get a lot of like, oh, I was here last year, you know, and now I'm ready for it again, right? Yeah. Part of me wonders if that's around their neurology and their birth cycle. Maybe. So squirrel on that. But sometimes starting energy work can feel like ripping off a Band-Aid. It really and like taking the scab with it. Not to be gross, but sometimes that first initial moment can be a little raw, you know? And
because you had a session when we were still on Main Street with a lady that did Reiki with you, and she had such a reaction to the experience. She has not been back. And it was almost traumatizing for her because she wasn't ready to experience any of that. She thought it was just going to be like a relaxation thing. Yeah. She didn't realize that Band-Aid was being ripped off and opening the floodgates to all of this stuff. So her human self wasn't ready.
But a little bit of denial almost,
Oh, yes.
like if you but she'll come back. Or she'll find a she'll find healing
Something
somewhere
else.
else,
Yeah.
right? Um, yeah, and it's crazy sometimes. Saturday as well, right? I was doing the thing, and then I asked a question, and one of the ladies, she was like, "How'd you know that?" I'm like, "It's what we fucking do, right?
Yeah,
Like it is
yeah.
what we do." So it's crazy, in a cool way. It's crazy,
Yeah.
that people sign up for our stuff,
Yeah.
like, and then they're still taken back when things come through or when things come up.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah,
That's crazy.
I love it.
I do too. It's a lot of fun. I I really enjoy watching
Okay,
people evolve.
yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
yes, it's amazing to be in conversation. It's amazing to be in session with Reiki or whatever the modality is, whatever the service is. But watching them be a different version of themselves every time they come through the door, whether it is just to say hi, whether it is just to buy something,
Yeah.
whether it is just to, a cup of coffee, whatever,
Yeah.
it is so interesting to me. And I love watching
Yeah.
people just be on their journey and do their thing and whatever resonates with them and, all the things because that's validation in itself that what we are doing isn't just this.
And sometimes it is tricky to watch people go down the rabbit holes. You're like, oh wait, not go down that one just yet.
Yeah.
And we gently try to steer them towards something a little bit more gentle to get started. They don't always do that.
Yeah.
But these are the kids that see stuff on TikTok. So how do you feel about TikTok? Okay.
I have a love-hate relationship with it because everybody has a story to share, and I love that. And I love the different perspectives, and I love that um, people have a place they could go to as a resource. But there's the flip side of that with literally everything in your lives. There's good and there's bad. And unfortunately, I feel like there is a lot of feedback on TikTok, and I feel like there is a lot of negative influence on TikTok. Because not everybody sees things as being for the greater good, right?
So, right. One thing that I struggle with a little bit about TikTok is with some of the younger generation, it becomes the know all be all, right? So they'll come in and they'll ask for advice. And they'll be like, well, on TikTok, like, okay, then go back to watching TikTok, right? So sometimes it feels a little,
Yeah,
misguided.
yeah, like it's like the younger generation will see whatever is on TikTok, no matter who the person is
Right.
you're watching, be like, oh, that is 100% the way it is. And then they come in here and ask for advice or questions, or we don't have something, or we have,
Combative.
yeah, they're like dismissive on anything, which they don't have to take
Right.
what we say, like they don't
Oh,
have to
absolutely.
resonate with it. But at the same time, like if you're seeking the same approval or seeking the same things as somebody that you do resonate with, then you need to resonate with them.
Yeah.
But don't dismiss what we're doing because it's not wrong. Just like what they're doing is
Right.
it's just not parallel, you know? So, man, yeah,
That's a lot.
yeah, I really enjoyed that conversation. So, well, until next time, you guys can find us on all the major platforms, YouTube if you want to watch us stare at each other.
Oh, we may be on to something new too. We sit down when we're not on camera, and some of the best bullshit comes out. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
amazing.
And
The
try
best
not to,
banter.
like,
Yeah.
keep on theme
Yeah.
with things. Yeah, I do
So there may be some dropping of just some
random stuff.
voice recording.
Yeah. Okay. Well, keep up with the website. A little note before we leave. There is some new changes coming to the website, and I know that we identify as Appalachia Rootworks rooted in roots, but the website is just appalachiarootworks.com. You guys can go on there and start shopping our shop now. Not everything is on there. I'm still working on getting a lot of the product.
It's a lot, guys.
There is a
It's
lot
a
of
lot.
product, but you can shop what is already on there. We ship to all 50 states. Um, and now you can actually start booking with us online too.
I
So,
did see that.
yes,
I mean, I've not played with it, but
yeah,
I've seen it.
I went in and edited what needed to be edited, but
Okay.
you can go. Any of the services that are on there can be bookable now.
And that makes me nervous.
Yes, it's some of those, even if you're not in the Central Kentucky area and can't physically be here, there are some of those services that can be done distantly. So through video or things like that. So
Yeah.
all of our contact information is on there. Please reach out to us. If you have any questions, we would love to help you. Um, and maybe you're interested in something that we talked about today or in the last couple episodes.
I want to encourage people to ask questions,
Yes.
right? Because I feel like we could talk forever.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easier if we have the questions.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Give us some things to talk about that you guys want to hear about or learn about, or maybe even expand on if we've already talked about it. We'd love to do that, a deep dive. Challenge us too, because we like to learn things as well.
Oh, maybe. She's like, challenge us. I'm like, I don't want to be challenged today. In a good way.
Yeah, in a good way.
I know.
So, definitely, get nosy on our website, like I said, AppalachianRootworks.com. But there also is a beacons link that takes you to all of our things. So all of our platforms, there's a job form on there.
Oh, yes, the job form.
Yeah.
So, okay. Was that this conversation about validation? Or was that the last one? Okay. So, going back to validations, now I'm like, damn it. Why didn't I ask for validations like all along, right? Those little the job forms. We have the job forms now, but like testimonies. So I feel like I'm 5 years behind on testimonies. So if you have a story to share, please guys, share the story. Share your aha moment. Share and I don't want to seem like now I'm like seeking those, but we kind of are. Because one thing that came to me when I was digesting with myself about those validations and not sharing those is who's missing out because they don't know.
Yeah. So I would love to really have a feature on the website, and I think there is one, but they're a little seasoned testimonials. But I would love to highlight what you guys want to share with your experiences that you've had with me and Carla and our other practitioners, and even like with stuff that you buy here as well. I would love to share that on the website for other people to see, and
because people don't know what they don't know. You know, we do understand that sometimes, even from the outside looking in, it's really hard to understand what all can happen in here, right? Because at some point, it's not just what does happen; it's the possibility of what else can happen, right? And shit, we may not even.
No, not yet. But it'll come. So we thank you guys for listening in this week. We hope that some of this resonated with you and easy to digest, and maybe not. Maybe you can do it over the course of a couple days. But we'll see you next week.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, bye.